Hello, my name is Kaiwa Tashaben Magazi, and I'll be explaining um, three functions from the system for keeping records of students. So the function I'll be explaining in particular is the swap students function, and this one takes in two addresses, the address of the of two structures, so as two elements of the structure, student, and it basically just switches the values in one memory address to one switches elements in one memory address and assigns them to another, then gets what was in that memory address and puts them in the one where, like the former. And as we can see under this function, you see student, we define a structure of student structure with which we will call temporary, and we assign it with the value in A, and then for the address A we assign it with a new value, the value which was in address B, and what was in address B we assign it with now the new structure value, that is student structure value, which is temp. And that basically means that now B is holding the value that was in A and A is holding the value that was in B. Then we have a second function which is sort students by name, and this one is going to have a nested loop, and the nested loop is just so the first loop is iterating through the students, and after iterating through the students, the second loop is now iterating for each student, iterating through the attributes of that student. And among those attributes we have the name. Now it has now to use the strcmp function to compare the strings and to check if the strings are similar. If the strings are similar, it will give an integer value of 0, but if they are not, it's going to give a value that is larger than 0, and that's why we have that if statement, and it's just to check that they are not the same. And every time that they are not the same, it will swap the one that comes before the other. So the one that comes first, that name is shown first, and the one that comes after is shown first according to alphabetical order. And after, when that is done, then we shall print a statement: the students are sorted by name. Then we have a third function which is sort students by tuition. This one also uses nested for loops. The first loop is going through the students, and the second loop is going through the elements of each student, and it gets to the tuition. And when you get to the tuition, it compares which tuition is larger than the other, and so the student with a larger tuition will go down, and the student with a smaller tuition is going to go to the top. And so in such a way it will sort students by tuition, and after that it will print a statement: students sorted by tuition. And that's the explanation to my code.